Good morning and welcome to the channel on this, the 18th day of July 2026, which is a Saturday. I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached to my neck. Okay, so here we are again. It's the 7th day of tit for tat retaliation, with America destroying bridges and various infrastructure points in the south of Iran. And Iran, of course, sending rockets and missiles to the Gulf states and Jordan, etc., etc. So I thought this morning we would have a quick look at where do we go from here? What's the possible scenarios for the future? Well, there are probably 4 most likely scenarios. Number 1 is a sort of tactical deal, which is the sort of baseline. It's fragile, but it's possible. A narrow US-Iran agreement focused on freedom of navigation in Hormuz, and a limited ceasefire without resolving nuclear and sanctions issues. Why is this likely? Well, both sides want to avoid full-scale war costs. And of course, the MOU exists as a 14-point framework, although both sides are actually saying at the moment that this is not existing. Why it's fragile? Well, Israel opposes any US-Iran settlement. Iran's hardliners may push for escalation if talks stall. The 60-day negotiation window is unrealistically short, and obviously we've seen that so far because there's no talks going on. The outcome for this is a temporary pause that buys time but plants the seeds of the next crisis. Scenario number 2 is a no war, no peace. This is a medium to high likelihood, a prolonged limbo, if you like. It's a tense, ambiguous truce with sporadic clashes, continued proxy activity and slow progress on Hormuz security. It seems to be happening at the moment. Characteristics of this are a ceasefire extensions without substantive political progress, regular Israeli strikes in Lebanon, tit-for-tat US-Iran actions. Global markets remain jittery, shipping partially restored but not secure. The outcome, a durable but fragile stalemate that can collapse suddenly. Number 3, re-escalation, plausible if diplomacy fails. Renewed conflict triggered by Israeli unilateral action against nuclear sites. Not likely, I don't think, at this stage. Iranian closure of Hormuz, proxy attacks on US forces, breakdown of MOU negotiations. Well, a lot of that seems to be happening. Supporting evidence for this is Iran's retaliation plans are pre-positioned and multi-domain. Israel's tolerance for Iran's nuclear trajectory is exhausted. The outcome, a regional war involving Lebanon, Iraq, Syria and the Gulf states with global energy shock. This is partially happening and partially not happening. There seems to be a mixture of all of these right now. Number 4, internal Iranian political shock. Excuse me. This is a low to medium likelihood, but high impact if it did happen. And this would be triggered by regime instability or succession crisis. Renewed mass protests like there were before all of this kicked off. economic collapse under sanctions. Why it matters? Well, Iran's internal cohesion is one of the top strategic drivers of conflict trajectory. If the regime fractures, outcomes range from a more pragmatic leadership seeking a deal, or a hardline consolidation leading to aggressive escalation. The outcome for this, unpredictable, could open diplomatic opportunities or intensify the conflict. Additional strategic future identified by various analysts are negotiated comprehensive settlement, which is a very low likelihood, and that would require nuclear concessions, etc. In other words, there is no actual scenario that we can see going forward that is going to stop all this. I personally see that we are going to see tit for tat going on for some time. My fear is that there will be a consolidation of Jordan and all the Gulf states, and that they will start attacking Iran individually or collectively. And if this happens, this will lead to a full-scale war. I hope that doesn't happen. I'm travelling through Qatar in a couple of months' time, and I'm fearful that the airport will be closed and I won't be able to travel. Anyway, let's see what we shall see. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for listening as always. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.